moustache. Thing about Skakaya is that he is too much the teacher, too much in love with his own knowledge, tone-deaf to the feelings of others. He compounds the error. "Time for a little stroll through the town," he says in English. English! Another little dig. Korba speaks the most basic English of the three of them. He can muddle through, but languages aren't a strength. Not much French either, and he didn't even speak Russian until he was 9. "Let us meander towards the railway terminus." Meander. Such a beautiful word, don't you think, Joseph? This annoys Korba too, the way Skakaya won't use the name he has chosen for himself, the name he took from the great hero of the old stories. Korba, the Gmiri, the poor man who showed true nobility by defending the weak against the strong, who robbed the rich to help the poor, the outlaw who brought justice. Skakaya speaks again, in Georgian this time. "Come on now, comrades, London awaits." Such an ass. The revolutionists walk from the quay to the station, past scuttling citizens who barely glance at them. Places to go, people to see, fish to buy. Harwich is a place proud to call itself a town of hurry and business. They walk past the Alma Inn, where a sign proclaims that wholesome pies and other refreshments can be had at short notice. Past the British flag, where a former landlady drowned in the cellar as the estuary surged one stormy January. Past the Angel, so called because it was once, not so long ago, the haunt of child prostitutes. They saunter past the spot where last year an abandoned baby was ripped apart by starving street dogs. Every town, however small, has its horrors, after all. They skirt around the knots of men outside the Packet Inn, the Duke of Edinburgh, and the Little Eastern. "England has so many drinking holes," says Shamian, "a nation of drunks." They keep their heads down as they pass the Elephant, where the soldiers of the garrison like to meet and sometimes fight with the sailors of the naval base. Korba leads the way, striding ahead. He does not meander. He looks hard at the people around him as he marches on, that poet's eye, but he is uninterested in discussing what he sees. Of course, there is also something that only Korba sees, the shadow that flits from doorway to doorway, always at the very edge of his vision, disappearing if you try and look at it directly. A presence, still barely perceptible, but growing stronger, more definite with every passing day. A smoky third-class train journey, smuts in their eyes, the smell of cheap coal seeping into the folds of their clothes, taste of soot in their mouths, trying to get comfortable on crowded wooden benches, staring silently out of smeared windows as they are rattled through small, flat fields. Cabbages and sugar beet and potatoes, fat cattle, thin horses. Sweet tea bought from a cheerful railway worker pushing a cart along the corridor outside the compartments. He wears a stained blue uniform in heavy serge, as if he were a military man back from some bitter campaign overseas. He looks the men up and down in an insolent way. He says, "Up the workers," and laughs as he slops his wheat-coloured brew into whitish china cups. He adds milk without asking whether they want it, and lurches down the corridor, coughing and leaning heavily on his trolley. Skakaya and Shamian discuss whether this man will be supporting the English railway strike, due to start next week. They are inclined to doubt it. Shamian asks Korba what he thinks. Korba stares into his teacup. "I think I can't drink this grandmother's piss." 90 minutes later, the men stumbled into the suffocation that is London. They have heard about the city's wet black fog. Everyone has, but the reality is something else again. As Shamian says, "This fog is like gravity. It's like being pressed into the ground by many heavy hands on your head and on your shoulders." "Like being pressed into shit," says Korba the poet. "Like being drowned in other..."